Hey everybody, Karyn Bryant here, and on the other end of the screen, or the other side, is Patrick Cote, of course, who is a former UFC fighter and a commentator. Now, Patrick, which station are you on up in Canada? I want to make sure everybody gets it right.
On RDS. It's like the ESPN, but in French. So
Oh,
we are there since almost 5 years now.
nice, very nice. And for those who don't know, it's great. You get to call the fights and everything, and it's just a really cool thing. So, what I wanted to talk to you about today was just some of the international talent on the upcoming card because I feel like they don't always get as much attention, right? So let's kind of dig
Yeah.
into that. And since you're international, I by the way, if there's ever French people, I murder speaking French. It's so bad, and I so apologize. I just want to make a blanket statement that if I ever say anything in French, and it's gonna be horrible, so sorry.
I'll correct you. If something
Yeah.
happened, I'll correct you.
Please do. Please do. So I want to ask you about Damir Ismagulov. Okay, so this guy, Ismagulov, he's coming out of Russia, 30 years old. He is a lightweight. So, that's an incredibly difficult division, but he's on a 3-win streak right now. The last time he fought was Thiago Moises. And, anytime you hear a Gulov name, you're going to assume that they're going to be pretty dominant in wrestling or something like that. Is that the
Yeah.
case?
This guy is more striker. He's a phenomenal striker. He's from like since 5 or 6 years. It's like a Russian invasion in
Yeah.
the UFC. It's crazy how
Yeah.
talent guy from Russian come in the UFC and they have success. That's another one. This guy is 17 win streak. That's incredible. But right now, I think he can be on the top of the food chain at this division, but he need to finish guys in the
Right.
UFC. He's 3-0 in the UFC, but 3 decision. He needs a big highlight. I think for me, I think the silence secret on that card. Seriously, this guy is amazing. Stand up, amazing striking. He's very creative with the knee, with the kicks too. He really liked the spinning back kick too. He used a lot the spinning back kick at the end of the combination with his hands. He's super spectacular. He's a former M1 global champ too, so he has a lot of experience. But right now, he needs to perform to have a highlight reel. He needs to perform to have a highlight finish. That's how he's gonna have better fights after. Maybe a ranking fighter after or something like that. Because in the MMA today, winning fight is not enough.
Yeah.
You have to finish fight. You have to finish your fight. You have to finish the fight by a spectacular way. You
Mhm.
need a knockout. You need a submission. But decision, it's not enough to move up in the ranking. So you need to go with these 4 wins in the UFC, but you need to finish.
I 100% agree with you because look what that did for Giga Chikadze. Speaking of international talent fighting out of
Mhm.
Georgia, he was, really searching for that first finish. And when he got it, it was so satisfying. He then gets a great fight with Cub, finished Cub. So yeah, the sky's the limit. I agree with you. 22-1, like you said, he's on an incredible streak, Ismagulov. So he's facing Rafael Alves. And yeah, you think he can take that fight, but he just needs to get a finish?
Yeah, absolutely. Seriously, if you didn't see that guy fighting and you like stand-up guys, it's amazing how the skill he has.
Yeah.
He's very very well rounded on the speed. Knee kicks, elbows. He has an incredible boxing skills too. In MMA, there's a good striker and good boxer. There's two things very different. He is a really good boxer, very technical boxer, very accurate, and he has a lot of power.
Nice. Very nice. All right. Well, we'll be watching for him. So now let's move up to David Dvorak. He is a flyweight, 28 years old, the nickname The Undertaker. So Dvorak was on the last card that I worked in Brazil before the world went to hell, Pat. And
Yeah.
and I remember I was working with Dan Hardy and he was really high on Dvorak. And he was somebody that he was like, no, we really need to watch for this guy. I remember talking to him afterwards backstage when he was getting his picture taken. So he is fighting out of the Czech Republic. Horace, I don't know if that's the exact way to pronounce it. Sorry if it isn't. But out of the Czech Republic, 19-3 is his record. So he's had 2 wins in the UFC so far. And he's facing Raulian Pava. So that's going to be a tough fight.
It's gonna be a very tough fight. Probably, maybe the sleeper on that card. I think so. That can be the fight of the night. This guy is on an incredible winning streak, to 15-win streak, and his last loss, it's like 9 years ago. This guy is a winner right now. In his mind, he's confident. He's at the top. But once again, you have to go there. And I like this division now. The flyweight division is amazing right now. Since that was Demetrius Johnson and the others, since Demetrius Johnson left, and Cejudo too, it's like this division. It's kind. Everybody take this division and say that okay, we don't want to leave because there's a certain time. You know, there were discussion that the flyweight division will be like removed, and it was like, oh man, there's a lot of good fighters in there, and I think it shocked a lot of fighters in that division, and they said, okay, we're gonna show them that we are spectacular too, even if we are a smaller weight, we can knock out people, we can give an incredible fight. And since that day, that division is just incredible. And this is another great addition in this division. David Dvorak, you know, has a great footwork, great boxing too. He's well-rounded, 8 knockout and 7 submissions. So he can fight everywhere. And you're right. Dan already said the right thing. This guy is really up-and-comer fighters, and I'm looking to this fight too.
I think it's great too, and it's true what you're saying about the division. It is on fire, and what I also always love about the division is just the pace of the fights. You know what I mean? It's just like I always describe it as cats in a bag from the beginning to the end. Like their pace is always incredible.
Absolutely, and now you have another champion, Figueiredo, who can knock out people, who's really well-rounded. He can finish people on the ground too. So that division. The best division in the UFC, it's 155, the lightweight. But after that, it's flyweight. And it's not since a long time we can say that the flyweight division is very, very entertaining. But good for them, good for all those fighters in that division.
It's great. It's great. Well, let's move into the co-main event now. This is Xiaonan. This woman is actually doing very well in the UFC. She has won all of her fights, all 6 of them. There are a lot of decisions, but we do see fewer knockouts in women's MMA. We do see, submissions clearly. But she's going to be facing the former champ Carla Esparza, who we know is fantastic on the ground. But Xiaonan is fighting out of Beijing, China, and she does describe herself as a striker. Overall, her record is 13-1 with 1 no contest. So striker versus grappler matchup then, huh?
Absolutely, but she like a lot the hip throws. When she is in the clinch, she like to do it, but I don't think she's gonna take that chance to go very close to Esparza. That's a really big fight for her because if she wins against the former champion, she will put herself in the very serious place as a contender. On the strawweight crown. I think that's it's like a pivot fight for her. She has to go and she has to win. And if she wins by another time with a spectacular way, if she's able to finish Carla Esparza, we're gonna talk about her probably the next contender for the belt.
Yeah, it's because I think she's currently ranked number 3, right? It's basically Joanna's up there, and Weili Zhang and Carla and and Xiaonan. So yes, I do believe that if she wins, she could get a title shot. She absolutely could.
Absolutely, and especially when you win against a former champion, it's so good for the record, but for the confidence too. And I like her because she really understands the fighting mode. Yeah. She hit and she's not getting hit. Yeah. She's really good to control the distance, and she's really good to work on a combination. But she always away when her opponent tried to go to counter strike. Yeah. So she's really smart. I think her fighting IQ is on another level of the other fighters. She understands the game. Hit and not getting hit. Yeah. And she's doing that very well.
It's great. And the interesting thing is, obviously if she wins and she did get a title shot, that would be a fun fight with her and Rose. But obviously Carla is looking to get that rematch. So there's a great story with that as well. So cool. Well, great. Well, that's just, there are some other international people on there, but these are the ones that I thought maybe we should keep our eye on, Patrick. So you'll be on the broadcast. What kind of stuff do you guys have around the fights?
Listen, this fight. I'm looking forward for Xiaonan. I think she's, right now what happened in China with Weili Zhang. I think the MMA over there just exploded. And Weili Zhang, when she became champion, that was like unreal. She couldn't walk on the street. Yeah. I think that the same thing can happen to her with a great performance. A stunning knockout. I don't think she can submit Esparza, but a stunning knockout, she can. It's gonna propose her to the top and as the superstar rank over there.
Yeah, I think it'll be great. All right, well, so I will be doing UFC Live and the UFC pre-show on Friday, and I'll be doing the post-show on Saturday night. Our stuff's on ESPN2 and on ESPN Plus. Patrick, where are your shows? Where does everybody find you?
It's going to be on RTS, on the French channel here, the Sport French channel. And everything's going pretty well. I'm going to be with my co-host since 13 years now,
Wow.
Jean-Paul Chartrand. So we're doing that since 2008, Matt Serra and George St-Pierre, UFC 83. So we're doing that since that day, and that's awesome. It's still continuing.
That is so great. And funny, that's funny because Alan Joban will be working with me, who I did all my podcasts with for a long time. And we have somebody else that's debuting, and I don't want to mention who it is because I don't want to steal this person's thunder, but I am so incredibly looking forward to it. It's going to be a lot of fun. But, and on social media, where do they find you?
Pat Cote MMA on Instagram, and you can look for my blue check on the Facebook and on Twitter, Patrick _ Cote on Twitter. So it's really good. And you're so lucky. You're working with the two most retired UFC fighter in an awesome fighter in the business. Alan Juban and myself. How can you ask for more? That's awesome. You're lucky. You're a lucky girl.
Such a lucky girl. Hashtag blessed, Pat. Hashtag blessed. Well, thanks so much for doing this on Instagram. I'm KB Heat. Everywhere else, you can find me at Karyn Bryant, Kary. And Bryant as in Kobe, no relation, but may he rest in peace. Pat, thanks so much and enjoy the fights.
Bye-bye.